Hey, how's it guys? In this tutorial, we'll learn how to add an animation when we resize a layout in PyQt5. Alright, so here let me give you a quick demo before we dive into the tutorial. So here's the application we're going to create in this video. So on the left hand side, I have this vertical box layout. And on the right hand side, I have another vertical box layout. Basically, this window has two vertical box layouts put together to construct this view. Now, if I click on the Start button, it's going to resize the layout on the left. If I click on the Push button again, it's going to resize the layout back to the original size. And this is pretty useful when you want to implement an animation effect to a group of widgets in a layout. Alright, so here let me insert my code snippet. Alright, so I'll start by importing the widgets I want to insert to my window. Alright, so let's insert a push button. Oops. A list widget. So by default, a layout widget does not have the capability to perform an animation. Here I'm going to import the keyframe widget to use that as kind of like a substitute to replace a layout widget, which I'll show you in a second. Now from the Qt core module, I'm going to import QRect class, and to implement the animation effect, I'm going to import the QProperty animation class. Alright, so those are the libraries that we'll be using for this demo. Now let me go ahead and create my vertical layouts. And let me change this to horizontal box layout as the main layout manager. Alright, so let's call this layout 1. And this will be layout 2. Now let's insert a couple widgets to the first layout, and let's name this as column 1. I want to create a list widget and the push button. And for the caption, let's do stop. And I'll add the widgets to the first column. Alright, so you have a typo, and it should be list. Oh, and this one thing I forgot to do. I need to add those two layouts to the layout manager. Alright, so here we have the first column. Now for the second column, I'm going to insert another push button. And let's call this start. Alright, so here's what the default interface looks like. And I want to change the ratio. So let's do 30% to the first column and 70% to the second column. Alright, so I think that looks pretty good. And to implement the animation effect, so here I'm going to create a function. And let's name the method Resize animation. So I forgot to create the frame object. Alright, so going back to the first column, I'm going to create a keyframe object. I'll name the object self.frame. And here I'm going to replace the self.layout manager with the frame object or the frame widget. And we can do that by referencing the frame object set layout. And we just need to provide the layout object that I want to replace. And it's going to be layout 1. Now going back to the top. Alright, because noticing that here we are already adding the layout 1 object or the layout manager to the main layout. And since we want to use QFrame widget as the layout manager, so here I need to move these to the top. I'm going to delete this line here. Now instead of adding a new layout to the layout manager, we're going to reference the main layout. And we're going to add the QFrame object as a widget. Now if I launch the window, and here we have the exact same interface. And since QFrame object is a widget itself, it's not a layout. So we can actually perform any type of animation we want to the QFrame object. Alright, so for example, here let me assign this method to my start push button. And I want to grab the QFrame widget's width. So let me take a look. What's the width value? Alright, so it's 292. So to implement the animation or the resizing animation, here I'm going to create an instance of QProperty animation object. I'll name the object self.animation. And it's going to be QProperty animation. We want to insert the widget object. And it's going to be the QFrame object. And for resizing, it's going to be geometry. Next, we're going to set the animation duration. And let's set the duration to half a second. And this should be set duration. And half of a second is going to be 500. Alright, so here we are going to set the geometry property of the self.frame object. So first we want to check the frame object's width. And if the width value is 292, then I want to start the animation by using the set start value. So this is going to be the initial settings of the self.frame object. And since the animation is going to be based on the geometry's property, so I want to set the default x and y coordinate value of the frame object. And the x and y value is going to be the same. I'm going to reference the x and y properties. And it's going to be the width, 292. And then I want to change the height. So I'm going to reference the height value from the frame object itself. So this is going to be xy, width, and height. And for the destination, I'm going to use the setAimValue method. And here we're going to specify what the geometry value is going to be to the self.frame object. And for the y value, it's going to be the same as well. And here for the width, let's set that to 100. And for the height, it's going to be the same. Alright, so we're going to take these two lines. Actually, I forgot one more thing. We need to start the animation by calling the start method. Now I'm going to copy these three lines. And I'll copy and paste. And here for the else block, I just need to reverse these two values. And that's it. Alright, so here let's do a test run. If I click on the start push button, in here, oh, this should be frame. Right, let me try again. If I click on the start push button, it's going to resize the Qt5 object to the width of 100. Now if I click on the start push button again, it's going to resize back to its original width. Alright, so this is going to be everything I'm going to cover in this video, and hopefully you guys found this video useful. And as always, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.